I received a call from my mom that my 96-year-old grandma didn't feel well, so I packed my things to Bavaria and left for 2 days. Growing up and being raised by my grandparents in rural Bavaria, I still find myself deeply rooted in this landscape, and parts of me are even longing for the tradition and the rituals. There's a tension between home, the place you build wherever you settle yourself, and the beautiful, untranslatable, and many times abused German word Heimat. The word Heimat carries connotations of belonging, identity, and emotional rootedness that go beyond the English home. Heimat is not necessarily a place, but Heimat is an inner condition that you carry with you. Sometimes it holds undertones of longing, because to be aware of Heimat often means to have lost or left it. On the day of my departure, Grandma woke up and felt better. These are the first orders from the shop. And I'm still quite nervous because the whole process of setting up the shop and getting shipping right and everything still feels a little shaky. I'm not too confident because I didn't do that before. But I'm slowly getting there, and it's actually super exciting to send it off to all the great people that already ordered something. So recently, when I drove back from an assignment, I picked up a copy of Grau magazine, a very enthusiastic magazine project by two German guys, and with a beautiful cover by my old friend Peter Wolf. Picking up this magazine, I started to think about everything that I owe editorial photography. During the last years, the editorial landscape changed a lot, and a lot for the worse. It got much harder and maybe even impossible to make a decent living solely off editorial photography without a solid strategy of syndication, corporate contacts, and the push towards a more commercial direction. Editorial used to be an ideal entrance point for young and upcoming photographers to kickstart a career and make the work seen. This used to be the case for myself, as I'm still very much in connection with the people that I got to know in the editor world when I was starting out as a photographer. Still, to this day, editorial can be one of the entry points, but you need a lot more different outlets to get started than back in the day. That's just the reality of a shrinking magazine landscape. What I always liked about editorial photography is the challenge of doing something really creative in a very short amount of time. And in general, I think constraints are one of the most interesting and important creative techniques that you can use for your photography, but for every other creative field as well. But yeah, this is what I really enjoyed about it. Up until this day, I get really excited when I receive a call or an email from a photo editor offering an assignment. And despite the shrinking budgets, I still see the time spent on an editorial assignment as the best lesson in constraints and almost always a valuable experience. And never underestimate the power of the contact list you build over the years. You never know who switches jobs and positions and takes the pleasant experience of working with you into the new job. Last month already, I received a quite big package, and it contained this equally big book that doesn't fit my bookshelf, and it's called Gumsucker by Australian photographer Rory. Gumsucker is a meditation on the loss of the untamed Australian wilderness to civilization. It's a ghost story of sorts. A deep, personal and sentimental journey in landscape and pictures of companions and strangers, fighting the crushing reality of modernity. Gumsucker was published by Charcoal Press in November 2025. The second book that arrived this month and that I was eagerly anticipating is Somersault by Raymond Meeks. Somersault is a poetic collection of mundane landscapes and portraits of Raymond Meeks' daughter, coming of age and her imminent departure from home. Somersault is a reflection on the places we live, we leave, and sometimes return to. The book was published by Meg in 2021. Ja, genau. Hawoo! Hawoo!